Hello and welcome back to the Commander, and we're in another tournament, because of course we have to be. Oh yes, I have been attempting to do a little bit of progression off screen as well, so maybe things are going to progress just that little bit faster. Now we have found a companion that was relatively decent, so I thought, you know what, okay, they're going to be our companion. And that's what I decided to do for the caravan that I needed to get up and running, to make sure that we start getting some decent trade skill gains. I just had to concentrate a little bit there, but yes, anyway. If we don't do that, it is going to make things a little bit maybe a little bit too slow for my liking, because I'd like to get as much trade skill as I can, as fast as I can, and then we can actually start building up a huge amount of wealth. And we will try to do that through the use of smithing, as well as through the use of, well, winning battles as much as we possibly can. And we've got to bear in mind as well, by the way, that I am not going to be joining any faction at all. That is one thing that you should know. We are going to be creating our own faction and going on from there. So that's the reason why I'm actually trying to spam as many tournaments as possible, because obviously if you think about how much renown is actually required to get to a high clan tier, it's pretty significant. So not sure if we're even going to be able to make it too easily, but I have to try. Otherwise, you know, we're going to have to become a mercenary or something like that, because otherwise we're just not going to be able to get into these larger battles, and it's just going to be impossible. So that's obviously, that is an option to become a mercenary, of course, but I don't really want to do that, because that is the standard form of progression, and I did want to do this a little bit less standard, shall we say. Now, one thing I should mention as well is that you know how I mentioned in the previous episode that when I was attempting to copy templates and things from some of my other customized troops, it wasn't actually working. Yeah, it wasn't actually working. It was actually causing crashes. I had about 6 crashes in 10 minutes or something like that. So yes, it was causing crashes, and I was trying to add some items, equipment, gear, whatever you want to call it, to my customized low tier units, because that's the funny thing. I actually had no weapon, as far as I'm aware. I had no weapon on my first characters in the tier tree, in the upgrading tree. And that was something that I actually didn't know that was the case, because I just copied a template from someone. So it wasn't like they don't have a weapon, right? They surely have a weapon, don't they? Anyway, point is, if they don't have a weapon, then I need to fix that. Unfortunately, me attempting to modify that has now started to cause crashes as well. So I'm assuming that any kind of customization after the initial time is not possible. Not sure why that would be the case, but that feels bad. So yeah, it feels pretty bad. So if I can't customize it, then we're just gonna have to make do with our noble troop tree, because that's, as I said, what I'm primarily going to be using anyway, at least for the foreseeable future. And if I can, you know, maybe fix the crash, which I have no idea why it would be crashing now. I was able to customize my items on my other tree, but you know what's really funny? When I try to look at the units in the encyclopedia, it doesn't even come up. They don't even appear in the encyclopedia. So I can only assume that is the reason. That's the reason why it's causing crashes, because it's just literally not there, and the game is trying to draw up some kind of information that should be there but isn't. And yeah, I don't know why that is. It's a little bit buggy for some reason. I don't know why, because this is My Little Warband, one of the most well-known mods, and generally it shouldn't be doing that. So I don't really know. Maybe the version I'm using of the game is a little bit incompatible, just a little bit, and that's causing it to, you know, have some problems, which is very sad, because it would be wonderful if we could actually utilize the mod to its fullest extent. But as I say, it doesn't really matter too much, because right now we're just going to be continuing to do our thing here. And I would like to actually do some smithing after this as well. So that's the point. If this series is not your thing, like for example, if you want more battles, or if you want something completely different, then I apologize. But that is certainly not what this is going to be, because this is a lot more hands-off. As you've no doubt already seen, we are very much standing away from the battles. We're not really participating too much in those, because of course we're not. We're the commander. So that's what we're trying to do here. All right. So anyway, we're going to be doing some refining here. Oh yeah, I actually have this amazing thing now. I have the Better Smithing Continued, which allows me to refine things at an absolutely enormous rate. And what we can also do is some really crazy stuff. So, for example, if I wanted to create a two-handed sword, we might be able to actually make something work here. Maybe we can do... yeah, that's still okay. Yeah, it's unlikely, isn't it? Yeah, I doubt it, actually. I doubt that I'm going to be able to do this. Okay, well, I don't even have the... I don't even have the materials because I have nothing to smelt here, but yeah. Anyway, I did get to 17 smithing, which I suppose is decent, but we do need to take a look for some Pugios as well. As you can see, there are some Pugios here. Unfortunately for me, I don't have that much cash, and you may think, oh, well, why don't you have any money? Well, the reason why I don't have any money is because of the inevitable, you know, caravan starting, and that cost me another almost 16,000 to create, so that's obviously a bit of an issue, isn't it? So, let me see here. Can I actually even create a two-handed sword? No. It doesn't look as though I can. Okay, so we're going to have to move on then. That's really sad, actually. I was very, very much hoping that we could do some smithing, but obviously, if you don't have any weapons, like for example, you know, from you running around and doing random stuff. Oh, by the way, this is literally the helmet that I just gained. I could literally sell this for 33,000. Should I sell this for 33,000 right now? Yes. I don't see a reason why I wouldn't sell that for 33,000. That's absolutely insane. Right, okay, fine. Change of plans then, by the looks of things. As I said to you in the previous episode, my main plan going forward was to create a workshop that is a smithy in the town of Cyronea. And if me doing this, okay, that's not going to give me much, but if me doing this is actually going to provide me with some significant gains, then I'll be pretty happy. So velvet weavery, linen weavery, and brewery. Okay, so yeah, these guys don't really have much. Gonna buy this guy's velvet weavery. That's gonna cost me 24,000. Wow, that's actually quite significant. Alright, so yeah, we're just gonna do that. And then we are going to select this, and we're going to change its thing to smithy here. It's going to cost me 2,000 to change that as well. So there we go. There's the smithy. Let's actually just take a quick look and see. I probably should have checked this first. Yeah, tools are okay, as you can see. They're actually selling for an okay amount. I should probably buy all these tools, all things considered. But there isn't any iron ore. Have you noticed? Look at this. There is no iron ore in here whatsoever. And what the smithy is going to do is, as you see here, it is going to input iron, and then it's going to output melee weapons and medium armor and tools and all that wonderful stuff. And I actually wonder, yes, I think it can actually even do Pugios. I think it might be able to produce Pugios. If that is indeed the case, then we have an absolutely enormous way for us to be able to smelt gear and get materials. And then we can even sell these materials if we so desire, which is actually incredible. So what I'm actually going to do now is now I'm actually wondering what I should do, because there's a couple of villages much closer than I anticipated beforehand. I said to you, oh yeah, we're going to go to the villages nearby to Epicrotia, you know, and you know, we're going to do something with them, because they obviously will have some pretty pretty good things, but oh wait, no, I don't want to buy that silver ore, thank you very much. Yeah, they will have some pretty good prices at those places. However, I'm thinking maybe what we want to do is instead buy from these, and then we can kind of, well, maybe we can alternate between the two places. Maybe that's going to be a better idea. I don't know. But yeah, I actually ran out of food there for a second, so that's my bad, but it's alright. We don't really need the morale right now. We should be absolutely fine. So yeah, anyway, we've spent about, what, 2,500 on some iron ore. Let's see how much it's actually going to sell for here. Probably quite significant. And there we go. Oh, okay, not that significant. Okay, very surprising. Alright, well, maybe my plan is not going to work out after all. Wouldn't that be sad? Oh yeah, that would be really sad. Okay, there's a Pugio. So it does seem like they produce Pugios here. Maybe the smithy is gonna be actually pretty good, maybe. I mean, who knows? So yeah, apart from that, there's another Pugio. Let's just smelt that real quick. Okay, so first of all, we do want to check for charcoal as well. So let's actually have a look. Do they have any charcoal here, or do they have hardwood? Hardwood is very cheap. Look at that. Okay. All right. And do you have any blacksmith hammers? If they have any blacksmith hammers, yes, they do. They have these, and they have iron pitchforks. Okay, so we're going to buy a bunch of these. It's going to cost me 2,600, which is perfectly fine. And the main reason why we want to do this, of course, is to smelt some stuff. So let's just smelt all of this. Boom. Super easy to do that. Then we'll smelt all of that, and there we go. We've got more hardwood right here, and then we've got some more charcoal, and then we can do this as well. And now we have nothing else to smelt, unfortunately. But we do have more of this hardwood here. And I'm now at 26, I believe. 26 in smithing, which is absolutely fantastic. So what we're going to do now is hopefully we'll be able to get some efficient charcoal going. And look at this. I have 111 in trade now. So what do we want? Well, as I said to you before, traveling rumors, in my opinion, is absolutely fantastic. If I want to personally take up the reins of doing some trading, then having some trade rumors is definitely going to make a huge difference. So that's what I'd like to do here. And otherwise, apart from that, well, do they have any more? Well, they have some tools here that we could potentially buy. Not really that big a fan of doing that if I can help it, to be honest, because I don't really want to. I mean, that's basically what I was going to think about doing as well. Basically creating not really false scarcity, so to speak, but basically just taking all of the tools so the price goes up, and then my workshop makes even more cash. That's kind of the the thinking behind it, but it's probably not going to work that way, is it? Anyway, they still have iron ore here, so they haven't actually transformed that into anything just yet anyway. So let me make my way down over to these places. As you can see, there's a bunch of villages there, and apparently they've already been taken by the Sturgians. So there's a lot of really big moves going on, and the various factions are making them. So yeah, not sure how that's really going to progress, but it's going to be interesting to find out, because let's face it, I'm not really going to be taking too much part of these larger battles just yet. We will, but very much in due time. Okay, there's another 40 for us. That's a 1,400. And then we can get another here. How much? That's another 40. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. All right, so yeah, we're going to just go straight on back to Cyrenea. We're just going to do this a little bit. And hopefully we're not going to have too many problems. I mean, you can see here my trade skill is actually going up quite quickly. And I've also now gained another level. And technically what I could do is, if I wanted to, we could just go and get another caravan if we like, you know, because I actually do have one more space for an additional companion. I have a surgeon currently in my employ, which reminds me, I do actually need to make him our surgeon. It's probably going to be a good idea to do that, isn't it? Anyway, let's have a look here. Ah, yes. Okay, one more in social. I think that should hopefully be enough to get me there. I don't think it will be, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. And otherwise, I'm just going to spend another point in smithing. As I said, I'd like to get to +1 endurance here. That's obviously going to make a big difference. Or we could even go for fencer smith, which would provide me with that extra focus point to one-hand it. But obviously, that's not particularly necessary right now. But yeah, anyway, let's just sell all of this. I don't really care about the price of the iron ore now. That's not really what I'm you know, too bothered about right here. And otherwise, we can just do a little bit of something with the pitchforks and the simple pikes. To be fair, we might be able to do something here as well. There we are. All right, so let's have a look. Yeah, we can get rid of these. Massive amount of this. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Oh yes, there we go. Get all of that out of the way, and there we are. Now we have 59 bits of charcoal, which is actually pretty crazy. Can we actually make something cool? No, the two-handed axe is probably not going to work out too well for us. So we're just going to do the old-fashioned thing where we're just going to say what we have unlocked here. And it looks as though, look at this, I don't have much. I don't have much at all. So we're going to have to do something a little bit more here, as I don't have 50 yet. So yeah, anyway, we're just going to save this design, which is absolutely fantastic. This is going to be our tier 1 leveling. There we go. Tier 1 leveling sword, and that is what we are going to save. And if you take a look at our save designs right here, it even has my old sword that I created all those years ago in one of my other series. That's actually hilarious. Gonna delete this sword. There we go. And then that is absolutely fine. So now we can actually build all of this. Let's go back to crafting and have a grand old time. Okay, so I can literally forge 5 of these at once, by the way. So what I can do is, boom, I can do this, and this, and there you go. Now I've actually run out of I've run out of wrought iron, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean that I can't smelt that stuff, or at least I should be able to smelt that stuff. Why can't I smelt it? Ah, there we go. Okay, there it was giving me a filter of some kind. Not sure what's going on with that, but anyway, there we go. And now I've just gained a huge amount more stuff, and then I can go back here and we can do that once again, and then just rinse and repeat as much as we want to really do, which is absolutely fantastic. It saves you so much time. Better Smithing Continued, highly recommended to get it, especially considering you're going to be able to get Curious Smelter, which is going to make things even easier for you. So that's what we're going to go for right now. There we have it. Okay, so yeah, apart from that, I should probably just continue to do this over and over again. And I will actually take a look at some of the other things that I have unlocked here. Maybe I've unlocked some tier 2 stuff. No, I haven't unlocked anything like that, which is absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's going to take a much more significant time for us to get anything going here. Unfortunately, this actually does require wood, which is a bit strange. Yeah, it's because we're using a wood handle, so that's obviously making things a little bit more irritating than it would otherwise have to be. So we're just going to have to spend, well, not that much money, that's for sure. I don't even have that much, so I guess I'm just going to wait here for some time and see what happens. Ooh, now look at these. Alright, so yeah, this tournament actually has a really, really nice reward in the form of some gauntlets, and I wouldn't mind getting those, because as someone very rightly pointed out, I actually didn't have any arm guards or any hands at all. So that's actually going to be significantly increasing our body armor, or arm armor at the very least. And hopefully that's going to help us a little bit to survive just that much more. Obviously, you've got to bear in mind that I'm not the one actually controlling me in field battles or anything like that, so yes. Anyway, let me see if I can actually do something against these guys. Oh, they're going to be irritating, aren't they? I do have a bow, so technically I would be able to use that. Maybe I should, because otherwise they're just going to do the AI thing that they do, which is literally just to run around randomly like this and not really help me out at all in coming close. Ah, maybe I should get on this. Hello. Yes, there we go. That actually makes a great deal of sense. Hello there. All right. Oh, nice. That was a good kill too. Oh, and that one. All right. Apparently getting on a horse really makes a huge difference to our kill potential. Who would have expected that? The most obvious thing in the world. There we go. Oh, maybe I can... Ooh, okay, that was a bit close. I was a bit worried there for a second. I thought to myself, oh no, there's a massive, massive polearm coming my way. Definitely not looking forward to that. Alright, so yeah, anyway. As you can see, these actually give us 20 arm armor, and I believe the gauntlets that I'm currently wearing that I actually purchased for around 300 gold, I think they're giving me about 9 or something like that. They were basically the only gauntlets that were available in that particular marketplace at the time. So I was thinking to myself, yeah, you know what, let's just get some, you know, just to make sure that we have some. And if we do pick up something a little bit better, then our auto equip mod can do a little bit of, you know, do a little bit of work there and you know, equip it for us if if we come across something that's actually decent. Oh, this guy actually wants to kill me. How dare you? How dare you, sir? There we go. Alright, easy enough. Yeah, so it's been quite some time since the last time you've seen this character, because obviously I went off screen for a little bit. It's been about maybe 2 in-game weeks, maybe something like that. I'm not entirely sure how long it's been. Maybe just an in-game week. I don't actually know. I don't really take too much notice of the time passing, but the point is, there was a tournament here, and then there wasn't, and now there is another tournament here. So I'm not sure how long the refresh rate of the tournaments take, but they changed the reward. Because before, the reward was actually some kind of pretty expensive helmet, I believe it was. And now, obviously, that's not there. So, yeah, that's completely changed. Anyway, yeah, so if we just take a quick look at the smithy here, I have 54 in smithing, and I haven't really done much because I don't have any hardwood. So I do actually need to purchase some hardwood. And that shouldn't be... Ooh, never mind. That is actually quite expensive now. Yes, and look at my tools. The tools are actually selling for a pretty decent amount too. I can buy these tools for 81 and sell them at Hubyar for 269. Whoa. Right, we might actually want to do that. Right, okay, yeah, why not? Why not? Let's go ahead and do that. So I need to go to Ortisia. And then Hubyar is all the way over there. Oh, hello. Okay, the Aserai have been completely cannibalized by the Southern Empire. Look at what has happened in such a short span of time. I wasn't expecting that. All right. Okay, seems like some people are making moves. They are making some very, very large moves. Okay, so yeah, we can now also gain +1 daily renown from every profiting caravan. That is exactly what we're going to go for here. +1 daily renown from every profiting workshop is actually fine as well, but I might be getting another caravan if I can. So we're going to be gaining renown passively now at the same time as being able to participate in tournaments. So there you go. Look at this. My Beartild clan has now advanced to tier 2, which is absolutely fantastic. That gets me another slot for our companions, and it also provides me with much more party size as well. Or it should. Why do I still have 52? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, actually. It seems like it's a bit of a weird thing happening with the game right now. It seems to never actually give me the appropriate party size until I've gone into a scene or something like that. I'm actually not entirely sure about it, but okay. Never mind. At least we have arrived in Ortisia, and we can potentially do this tournament. As I said also, it would be pretty cool if we could get #1 in the tournament, because that's going to also provide us with an additional renown source. And if we want to, you know, rush for clan tier 4 or whatever we need to be able to create our own kingdom, then this is going to be something that will definitely help us out. Because imagine, you're running around and you're waiting for quite a while in between doing various actions. For example, tasks, battles, smithing, and so on. And doing those things inevitably means that the time has to pass, of course. The time has to pass. So any single thing that you can do that will provide you with any kind of passive benefit, and that's the point. You can also get these perks without any mods, of course. These are all to do with mods that, well, it's all to do with base game features. You know, the tournament, getting #1 in the leaderboard, that's obviously a passive thing. And the perk for the caravans as well. The only thing that is really helping me a great deal, which I personally feel should also be a thing in the base game, is that caravans are giving me trade experience. I don't think that it should be a personal thing only. I think you should be able to run your own trading empire without mods, to be honest. I think that would really make a huge amount of sense. Same thing with workshops as well. If you can make your workshop be profitable, I think that should also give you trade experience, because the trade skill itself is hard enough to level up. I know I actually heard from someone a long time ago that they leveled up trade skill on console without any mods whatsoever, and it took them, I think it was, what was it, 1,000 days or something like that? Yeah, I don't know, it took them 1,000 in-game days or something, and it was just absolutely, I mean, you really shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't need, that's what I mean, it shouldn't need that long to actually happen. But that's just the way it is. Very grindy, without any mods, unfortunately, because it would be wonderful if it would be a little bit quicker. Anyway, here we go. We got some Pugios available here as well. Look at that. That's actually pretty significant, but I do want to buy some tools first. Okay, so they're actually, yeah, they're actually 60. We don't know how much they're buying them at Hubyar now, but I'm going to buy every single bit of tools here, which is going to be costing me 3,200. We could potentially sell some of this fine steel here if we wanted to, but I'm not going to do that right now. We're just going to move on and cross our fingers that it is actually going to pay off. And if it doesn't, I'm sure there is going to be another place where we will be able to go. And I am very much hoping that we're still going to be gaining profit from our caravans. As you can see, we're gaining a little bit less now, but thankfully they're gaining around 300 every single day, which is actually pretty good. So I'm quite happy with that. And hopefully I'm not going to get attacked by anyone. Oh, wait a minute, I just lost money. Okay, it seems like it's been a while since my other caravan has actually made profit. Okay, well that might be a little bit problematic. Not sure about that. Okay, let's have a look at the tournament. Oh, there is actually a horse available here for a very significant price. But let's first of all go in here and take a look. Tools are literally selling for 164. Gonna sell all of my tools, 6,300. That's gonna be a significant trade skill gain. We're almost at 150 now. And I do need to get... What do we need to get? Well, minus 50% wages paid while waiting in settlements is absolutely incredible. That is definitely going to be something that I'll probably go for, because the other thing doesn't really affect me that much. So yeah, without further ado, let's go into the tournament and finally get our hands on a noble mount, which is obviously going to be sold very, very quickly for around, I don't even know, 16,000 or something like that. Hopefully around that number. And that's generally, if you are, if you're new to the game or if you're wondering how to make money early game, try to do a tournament and get a horse as a reward. That is literally the greatest possible thing you can do, and that's better than anything, pretty much. That's better than anything. Even the money from betting in a tournament is not going to really do much in comparison to the horse itself. Because as I say, sometimes you can sell these things for even more than that. It just very much depends. And there we have it. Easy enough. Yes, or these first rounds are always very painful, I found. Anyway, thankfully we're back in Azerite territory, so I can actually have some fun with some thrown weapons here, because, let's face it, I haven't really had the best of times in the other places, Southern Empire territory and Vlandian territory. They're always quite frustrating to play in, because they do have these really weird weapon loadouts and everything, and they always make things quite irritating to play in. So yeah, it's really nice to be back in Azerite territory. As I said, I personally feel like generally, if you are having issues with tournaments as well, small tip, just go to the place that you prefer to fight with. For example, let's say that you really like two-handed weapons. Well, then you want to go to Britannia, because they mostly have two-handed weapons in their tournaments, and that's super fun for me as well. So I personally prefer fighting in Britannia. But if you also like thrown weapons, then, well, the Azeri definitely have you covered there too. So that's definitely the way to go. Or if you prefer spears, then you know where to go. Yeah, it's Vlandia or Khuzait territory or something like that. And that's why I say, if you're a particularly low-level character and you're really having problems winning tournaments, then that is the way to go. Anyway, let's go over here into the smithy. Let's take a look. Yep, it sells for 17,000, as you can see. That's exactly what we're going to do straight off. Really, really nice and easy. And let's just take a look and see if there's anything here that I can actually purchase for a decent price. Doesn't seem like it. We can buy some hogs, but that's not really going to be much. Technically, I could buy some cows. You can see here that they actually don't have any cows whatsoever, which is definitely making things kind of interesting, kind of intriguing. Because I know someone did mention that cows are really fantastic to sell too. So I'm going to have a look around. Doesn't seem to be many villages that actually produce cows, from my reckoning. Where do they actually produce them? Because I can't see them at all. I've seen horses, sheep, and hogs so far, but I haven't seen any cows. Ah, there is one. Okay, that's actually hilarious. So incredibly far away. Oh, there's one right there next to Rote. Alright, well that is potentially going to be okay, but it's going to take me a long time to get there. But does it matter? Does it matter whether it takes me a long time? Not really. Not really. Okay, well, why not? Why not? Let's try it out. So let's go over here. Wait a minute. No. Let's go over here. There we go. That's the one that we want to go to. Well, this is not particularly good, as you can see. It sells for 174. Yeah, that is really not going to work. Okay, well, there is another couple of villages just a stone's throw away, so we might as well take a look at those as well. Okay, this sells for 121. Let's buy some cows. And I'm going to test this out, because obviously I'd like to try and figure out whether we can actually make a good profit on these. 124. They don't really have that many, though. That's the funny thing. I'm kind of wondering where you would find a surplus of these things, but... Ah, hello there. 99. That is literally the best price we've seen so far. So it seems like this place is really, really good. There's another one over there. Okay. So these places might actually be really good for the price. So let's take a look. That's 141 again. I'm going to buy it just because I have a pretty significant cash fund at the moment. And we're going to go back to Hubya. Yeah, we're actually going to go back to Hubya, because if we go back here, this is actually going to provide us, I think, probably with the greatest profit. Because if you noticed, it has no cows at all. There are no cows in the marketplace there. Ah, rebels in Hubya have risen. Okay, well that's perfectly fine, because as I said before, we are neutral right now, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Alright, so yeah, cows sell for 232 here, which is quite good, isn't it? I think that seems quite good, yes. So we're going to sell all of those, I guess, or... oh, no, actually not all of them. Let's just sell 10, because that's when the price starts to go down dramatically. Because, of course, that's something that you've got to bear in mind as well. There's a lot of diminishing returns with certain trade goods, and you need to watch out for that. We almost have 150 in trade. Not sure which one we're going to go for. Oh, yeah, we're going to go for the minus 50% wages paid. That's probably going to be much better than anything else. All right, let's take a look. Do I want trade? Do I want steward? Neither, really. Yes, neither, really. I should probably go for some more athletics, all things considered, shouldn't I? I mean, generally this is going to provide me with some pretty good things, like, for example, vigor or control. It also gives me endurance and stuff like that, and we need to make sure that we're maximizing the amount of attributes that we gain from these various things. I'm just going to sell the remaining portion of our cows here. And there is some salt available, but as you can see, minor gains from that. Date fruit could be potentially decent, but nothing much more to really write home about. So yeah, we'll just move on from there. Did I actually gain anything from that? No, my profits were pretty lackluster, so I think I probably just need to find a really good place to sell them more than anything else. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.